So why did I buy LS and not a Kubota? Let's talk about it. I want to welcome everybody back to our channel today. Thanks for tuning back in. Today I'm going to do my best to answer the question, why did you buy an LS and not a Kubota? Well, first off, you need to know that I like Kubota tractors. I think they're an awesome tractor. That's the first thing you need to know. The second thing you need to know is that I tried to compare a tractor that are comparable to each other. So in my opinion, the MT573 that LS makes is compatible with the Kubota M4D 071. Those are the two tractors I looked at. So one of the things that we need to talk about is there are going to be some specifications. And when I do talk about those, it might get a little bit boring, but stick with me. That way you have an understanding a little bit more about each tractor and why I looked at the LS so closely and why I bought one. So there are going to be some features that are identical to each other. Let's start with the engine. Both tractors are 4-cylinder diesel engines. Both of them are turbocharged. Both of them are made by the company that makes the tractor. LS makes their own engine. Kubota makes their own engine. Both of them are 73 horsepower engines. Both of them use the same style of DPF system or emission system, but they're a diesel particulate filter. Both of them are very, very close in their PTO power. The LS has 62 horsepower at the PTO, whereas Kubota had 60 horsepower at the PTO. The PTO on the LS is a 540, 750, 1000 PTO. The Kubota is a 540 and a 540E PTO. They both came with a D-clutch button or a D for the transmission. They're both power shuttle transmissions. The differences in the two is the LS has a creeper gear in it, therefore it's a 20 forward, 20 reverse transmission, and that's a standard feature, whereas the standard feature on the Kubota was a 12x12. Now, with that said, LS uses a 3-range transmission and 4-speed gear shift, whereas the Kubota uses a 2-range transmission and a 6-speed, and that gives them their 12x12. The LS has a implement pump and a steering pump. The implement pump was a 13.2 gallons per minute, and the steering is a 6.6 gallons per minute. That gives the LS a 19.8 gallons per minute. Now, I'm not 100% sure if the Kubota had a steering pump on it or not, but it said that it had a 16.7 gallon per minute implement pump. The LS came with 3 standard remotes on the back, whereas the Kubota came with 2 standard remotes on the back. This is a Cat 2. The Kubota is a Cat 1-2 3-point hitch. Now, here's another point that on the 3-point hitch, this tractor lifts more than the Kubota does. This has at the pin 6,614 pound lift capacity, whereas the Kubota has a 4,189 pound lift capacity at the pin. Now, what really matters to a lot of people is the 24 inches out. That's where your implement's at. That's where the weight is. And so the LS has a 4,079 pound lift capacity, whereas the Kubota was less at 3,307 pounds. That's a pretty good difference right there. This tractor weighs more. This tractor weighs 6,620 pounds, and the Kubota weighed 6,008 pounds. So it's about a 600 pound difference in the weight of the two tractors. Fuel tank capacity on the Kubota was 23 gallons. Fuel capacity on the LS was 26 gallons, or is 26 gallons. Both LS and Kubota came standard with the R1 ag tires. Let's talk about the loader for a minute. And I don't buy a tractor without a loader, so the loader specs are fairly important to me. But on the LS tractor, at the pin, it had a lift capacity of 3,626 pounds and a breakout force of 6,644 pounds. Now, Kubota uses a two-pin position, two pins on their loaders. They call it their height and power position. We are only going to talk about the power position, so that gets you the most lift capacity. It doesn't go quite as high, but it still gives you the most lift capacity, and that kind of may be what you're looking for. But on the power position on the Kubota was 3228, and then on its breakout force was 5,128 pounds. Now, that made a difference to me because the LS had a larger lift capacity. Now, look, there are things that I'd liked better about the Kubota than I'd liked about the LS. For example, I like the 6-post cab on the Kubota. That way, that side post here, you can put those switches in it, all your switches in that side post, and get some of those off your side over here. The other thing that I like better on the Kubota, I like the 2-range transmission in the 6-speed, the 2-range transmission with the 6 speeds. I like that better, whereas the LS was a 3-range transmission with 4 speeds. I will say that I like that LS or Kubota uses LED lights on their cab, but they don't have mid lights, and LS does. That's the mid cab lights in the front. LS does not come with the instructor seat or a buddy seat in it. You can order it, you can buy it. That's an option. Whereas Kubota came with the buddy seat in it. Okay, but now let's get down to why did I buy the LS over the Kubota? Because that's where the rubber meets the road. Look, I like blue. I like the color blue. Okay, no, that's not it. I like the options, and I like the features that were standard on the LS versus what's not on the Kubota, for example. The standard features that came on the Kubota, the standard features that came on the LS were the creeper gear. It had the 3 remotes already in the back, so I didn't have to buy another remote to put 3 remotes. It came standard with a 3rd function integrated into the loader stick. It also came standard with the valve underneath here, the solenoid for that 3rd function. That came standard, which does not on the Kubota. It comes standard with mid-mount lights or mid-mount work lights on the front of the cab. Kubota does not. Although Kubota does use LED lights, LS, you need to take a lesson from that. Use LED lights. It came. This tractor came with a wiper on the rear and the washer fluid. It does not come standard on the Kubota. Let's see, air ride seat. This tractor has an air ride seat in it. That's a standard feature. Kubota does not. Then finally, the self-leveling loader. This tractor came with a self-leveling loader on it. The Kubota does not. Now, I ran into a huge problem when I was looking for these tractors. The Kubota dealerships did not have an M4 D071 on a lot anywhere in our area. And that's a problem, because now how am I supposed to look at the thing if I can't find it? I always have this thing, if you don't have it on the shelf, you can't sell it. Okay? And there was not one to be seen. So therefore, I really couldn't get my hands on one and I couldn't drive one. I couldn't do anything. I did look at one, but it was in the service department. It belonged to somebody. I did not play with it. I did crawl up in the cab and sat in it, but that was it. That was as far as I could get with that. Now, with all of that said, this tractor came standard. This tractor came, not standard, but it's an option. This tractor came off the lot with R14 tires on it. Now, I know I paid a little more for the tractor because it had R14 tires on it, but here's where the rubber met the road. The Kubota, without all those features that we just talked about, all those are options, those are extra cost. The Kubota was $22,000 more. $22,000 more. I couldn't do that, and I wasn't going to do that. Look, guys, I get it. You get what you pay for. I've heard that all my life. But sometimes you're paying too much for what you're getting too, and that's how I felt about the Kubota. Even though I think they're awesome tractors, this is not a bashing. It's not to bash the Kubota or trash Kubota. It's not to do that. I think Kubota makes a great tractor, but I chose LS for the value. That's why I chose LS. Guys, stick with us. We have a lot more to cover. I'm going to try my best to cover why I didn't buy some of the other brands of tractors that I looked at as well. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But until next time, thanks.